Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You're listening to Daily C1 English Vocabulary. My name is Emma.
And my name is Tom. We're here to help you explore and practice C1 level words and expressions.
In today's episode, we're reviewing the words from days 4 and 5 of our learning series. And as always, we'll talk about the meaning, give examples, compare with similar words, and focus on when to use them naturally. Our first noun is concession. Its main meaning is something you give up in order to reach an agreement.
Right. Now, for example, the government made a concession by reducing taxes to end the strike. Or, the company offered a price concession to close the deal with an important client.
You'll often hear it in phrases like make a concession, offer a concession, or win a concession.
But that's not the only use. Concession can also mean a discount or special privilege.
Exactly. For instance, students can get travel concessions on public transport. Or, the theater offers ticket concessions for seniors.
And there's one more meaning: a small business outlet inside a larger venue.
Like when you go to the cinema, we bought popcorn at the concession stand.
Just note, concession stand is the American way to say it. In British English, people would usually say snack bar or refreshment stand.
So, depending on the context, concession can be a compromise, a discount, or even a small shop inside a bigger place. Our second noun is perception. It's the way people see, interpret, or understand something.
For instance, the new design changed customers' perception of the brand. Or, public perception of the new policy was mostly negative.
Common collocations are public perception, perception of reality, shape perception.
It can also mean awareness or insight.
Example: her sharp perception of human behavior helped her as a writer.
And in business, you'll often hear things like, companies invest heavily in advertising to shape customer perception.
So, perception can be about how people view the world, or about someone's individual insight, and it can be shaped by personal experience or by society as a whole.
Now let's move on to the verbs. Our first verb is embrace. Most often it means to accept or welcome something with enthusiasm.
For example, she embraced the challenge of studying abroad. Or, the team quickly embraced the new technology at work.
You'll often hear it in phrases like embrace change, embrace opportunities, embrace challenges.
Another meaning is to include.
For instance, the plan embraces several key initiatives.
And finally, the literal sense of embrace is simply to hug.
Like, she warmly embraced her friend at the airport.
So embrace can mean hugging, including, or enthusiastically accepting new ideas. But in advanced English, we most often see it used metaphorically. Our next verb is envisage. It usually means to imagine or expect something that could happen in the future.
For instance, they envisaged a future where cars are fully electric. Or, I can't envisage him working in an office. It just doesn't suit his personality.
Common collocations are envisage a future, envisage a scenario, or envisage doing something.
It can also mean that something is officially planned or provided for.
In laws or regulations, envisage can mean to officially include something in the plan. For example, the new regulation envisages strict penalties for fraud.
And here's a quick note. In British English, people often say envisage, while in American English, you'll hear envision.
They're very close in meaning, but there is a nuance. Envision has a more creative, imaginative feel, while envisage is more practical and analytical.
So, envisage is close to imagine, but it's often used for realistic possibilities or official plans.
Next, let's look at some useful adjectives. Our next adjective is prominent. It means important or well-known.
For example, she is a prominent scientist in her field. Or, he played a prominent role in the negotiations.
Common collocations are prominent figure, prominent role, prominent feature.
But prominent can also describe something that sticks out physically.
Like, he has a prominent nose, or a prominent feature of the building is its glass roof.
And here's a nuance. Prominent is different from eminent.
Right. Prominent means noticeable or important, someone who stands out and is easy to see. For example, she's a prominent activist in her community. She's well known, people notice her.
Eminent, on the other hand, is more formal. It's used for people who are highly respected and distinguished in their field. For example, he's an eminent historian whose books are studied worldwide.
So you could say that prominent is about being visible, while eminent is about being respected. Our next adjective is viable. It means practical, workable, or capable of succeeding.
For instance, that plan is not viable with our current budget. Or, they are searching for a viable alternative to fossil fuels.
Typical collocations include viable option, viable solution, commercially viable.
But it also has a biological meaning, able to live or survive.
For example, the seeds are still viable after a year in storage.
And here's a useful comparison, viable versus feasible.
Right. Feasible means something is possible or doable in practice, but viable goes further. It suggests that an idea or plan has a real chance of long-term success or survival.
For example, it's technically feasible to build a new airport there, but not economically viable.
So viable is stronger than just possible. It's about being sustainable and realistic in the long run.
Let's continue with two adverbs. Our first adverb is reluctantly. It means unwillingly, without enthusiasm.
For example, he reluctantly agreed to join the meeting, or she reluctantly accepted the job offer because she needed the money.
Common collocations are reluctantly agree, reluctantly accept, reluctantly admit.
And here's a nuance. Unwillingly and reluctantly look similar, but they're not exactly the same.
Unwillingly is just the fact. You didn't want to do something, but you did.
Reluctantly adds more emotion. It shows hesitation, resistance, or an inner struggle.
For example, the child unwillingly ate the vegetables simply means he didn't want to, but did it. The child reluctantly ate the vegetables suggests he did it with a grimace, very unwillingly, but still went along.
So reluctantly is the more natural choice in everyday English because it carries that emotional hesitation. Next adverb, relentlessly. It means without stopping, with great determination.
For example, he pursued his goals relentlessly. Or, the team worked relentlessly to meet the deadline.
Common collocations are work relentlessly, pursue relentlessly criticize.
Compared to continuously or constantly, relentlessly has a stronger tone. It shows intensity and determination, sometimes even pressure.
So when you say someone does something relentlessly, you mean they keep going no matter what. And finally, let's wrap up with a couple of idioms.
First one, beat around the bush. It means to avoid saying something directly.
Example: stop beating around the bush and tell me what you think.
A common phrase is stop beating around the bush.
You can think of it as the opposite of get to the point. Beat around the bush means circling around the topic, while get to the point means being direct.
Another example, instead of beating around the bush, just tell your boss you need more time for the project.
And the last idiom for today is, the ball is in your court. It means it's your responsibility to take the next step.
For instance, I've explained the plan. Now the ball is in your court.
You might also hear, the ball is firmly in your court.
It's often used in negotiations, work, or even relationships, anytime you've done your part and the decision or action depends on the other person.
Another example, I've given you all the information. Now the ball is in your court to make the final decision.
So that's our review of the words from days 4 and 5.
We covered nouns like concession and perception, verbs like embrace and envisage, adjectives like prominent and viable, adverbs like reluctantly and relentlessly, and idioms like beat around the bush and the ball is in your court.
Remember, the goal is not just to know these words, but to understand their nuances and use them naturally.
Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.
Subscribe, and see you tomorrow for more C1 words.